Hey guys, welcome to another episode of The Mind of Reese. This episode, I swear to God, it channeled right through me. And this is the last and final episode of my journey to the Amazon, me being home in real time 2 weeks since then, and giving to you what I've integrated so far through it and the lessons that I have learned and the lessons I'm hoping to express to give to you guys. And so I'm so excited for you to listen to it. But before you do, there's so much going on in my world. So right now, I am opening up my VIP one-on-ones. This is for the tattoo artist ready to up-level, upgrade their mental, their spiritual, their structural, their strategic ways in their business, going from six figures and beyond. I am looking for the artist that is ready to up level their tattoo mindset, ready to up level their structural within their business, whether you own a shop, whether you own a private studio, whether you're looking to own a shop or structure around that. This is also for the tattoo artist that's ready to get into education, ready to become a coach, ready to become a mentor in some capacity, whether that be an online mentorship or that be an in-person mentorship. If this is something that you have been really striving for, this one-on-one VIP is just for you, because this is going beyond just the tattooing. We are opening up the pathways to our tattoo empire, how we impact even on another crazy spiritual level in this industry. And this is where this industry is going, and I'm so passionate about this. Like, I want to create industry leaders that are the way showers, the path makers, the new earth leaders. This is where we are going. And so right now, it's a 6-month mentorship. It's a 6-month container. I've no longer done it. I was doing it at 3 months. I do still have a 3-month container if you would like that, but 6 months, I just love long-term mentorship. I just think that it's just so much more potent. And when we get to really do life business together, we can really integrate and get to know one another, because this mentorship container is just so much bigger than just, here, let me give you some strategies, which we will do. It is so much inner energetic work. And I do a lot of energy healing, energy clearing work, breath work. We alchemize certain things that is stopping you from getting to your next level. And I think that's the reason why this is such a different container than any other container that you might even have been through or even heard of. But honestly, I don't really hear a lot of this happening within the tattoo industry, and we need more of it. So if you are a tattoo artist that is so ready for their tattoo empire and ready to up level, let's go. The link is in the show notes. Next thing that's happening is that InkSpired and Aligned is happening. InkSpired and Aligned, it honestly, no-brainer price, $222. Gotta have those angel numbers because I love them. This is going to be for the artist creative. This is not just for tattooers. This is for anybody that is in the creative world that just wants to up-level their new year, really get aligned for the new year in a different kind of way. Most people want to just let's set goals, let's do a vision board and these kinds of things. And that's not how we do things around here, because we know that in order to manifest, we got to go through the nitty gritty. We got to understand the shadows within us. And in order to do that, we got to go deep. And then once we get deep, sift out the subconscious limiting beliefs within us, we can then cut the cords to them, release the past, and then enter into the new year with a new fucking bravery, courage, and mindset that will allow us to manifest all the things into our 3-dimensional world. So if you are in, I highly, highly, highly suggest that you get in on it now, because we are probably right in the thick of it, and I'm doing 3 lives. This is probably, 6 to 8 hours worth of juicy, no fluff information. You want to be in my vibe. If you've never been in any of my containers, this is a really no-brainer way to do that as well, and really to get aligned for the new year. Also, for those that are that want to be tattoo artists. I was trying to think of the word. You want to be a tattoo artist. If you're an aspiring tattoo artist, my Apprenticeship Program is now open. You have a few days left to send in your application, because the Apprenticeship Program starts in February, but all the applications must be in December 8th. So if you really want to get in on that, the show notes are in there. Or if you are just trying to be in a container with me, I have so many pathways to me. I have opened so many different containers, different coaching containers, whether that be in tattoo education, business education, tattoo technique work, where you actually come in and we do one-on-one work on a person, and we actually tattoo people and we watch each other, and that's how it works. We have other content creating, tattoo business, all of these things, all these containers, all of these pathways. The reason why I've created them is because I just want people to thrive and grow faster than I ever did. And that is my fucking mission in this planet. And I'm so just happy to offer these things to you guys. And I love it so much. It's just my whole heart and soul. So if you want to plug in and play, click link in the show notes, check out the different things that I offer, dive right in. If you want to talk to me, DM me. I am so in love with people. I love talking to you. I'm huge on having conversations. We can have a conversation and we can find out what works best for you, what you'd like to do. I love you so much. I hope you love this episode. If you do, please let me know, what's your biggest win in this episode? I would really love to know. This came from my whole heart and soul when I spoke about this. I just get really deep into what it is that I've learned, what it is that I'm continuing to learn, and what it is that I'm like hoping that I can just share with you guys. So let me know in the DMs, post it on your stories, send it to people that you think they might need it, they might need to hear it. I love you so much. I'll see you in the episode. To another episode of The Mind of Reese. I am back with just my major microphone. I ended up just buying a new computer, and now I don't have to hold an extra hand. If you guys saw the last 2 episodes, you would notice that I had a third hand holding a microphone. It was my assistant Kayla's that she likes to utilize during her own little TikTok improv videos that she makes, which are amazing. So in this episode, we're going to kind of go over the last part of my Aya trip. So for me, in real time, it has been a little over 2 weeks since I've been back integrated into the real world, as we'll say, the modern world. And it has been an up and down experience. But we left off on my experience with Aya, how at first it was really tough, and then after I started to hear exactly what she wanted me to hear, and to really just come into my gifts and clear my channels so that I can hear source energy louder and clear, and to really utilize my intuition as my North Star, as my guide. And so now, I think in the last episode, I ended off with talking about Samuma, which is the grandmother tree. I don't believe it's the actual grandmother tree that was mirrored off of the movie Avatar. If you've seen Avatar, that movie with the big tree, I'm pretty sure it was the writer that went to the Yawanawa tribe and stayed with them, and created the idea around this tree. Was the idea around the tree is out there. And so Samuma is actually, I think, the second biggest grandmother tree. I didn't get to see the biggest one, but Samuma was just as magical and powerful. And as you guys know, as I come out more and more into my gifts and really just accept the fact that, I happen to talk with nature. I have lots of really beautiful conversations with nature. I think that's the reason why all of a sudden I have a million plants in my house. I just really connect in nature, and that's how I stay really grounded, especially in a place where, it's loud. The hustle and bustle is real. My business is real. I love a lot of go. And so my plants, the trees, they speak to me. They keep me grounded. They keep me in the moment. They keep me just remembering what is this planet, what is this nature. We are all one. And so in Samu'uma, when we went over there, we end up, on every of the days that we were there, pretty much every day, we were drinking Aya. So Aya was just a ceremonial drink that everybody just drank all the time. And we would microdose Aya during the day so that we could see the colors, just bright colors, and just to really feel into the creativity of life and to feel oneness with the planet. But it was also this, and then we had the ceremonies, which were the ones where we dive deeper and we get a little deep within ourselves and our subconscious beliefs, and bring those to the surface. And so the last, that last day of me doing Aya, and because I microdosed Aya, and then we had our third ceremony. But on one of the other days, I actually didn't do any Aya. I took a day off. Everybody else was doing Aya, and I was like, you know what? I'm not feeling called to this. But I was, I was in the celebration. I was there with everybody. We were dancing. We were in nature. We were bathing in the river, and we were also like washing our clothes in the river. And it was so interesting because I was so potent to the openness of what I has already provided me. I was so open. My channels were open. I felt very clear. There was nothing on my to-do list. So there was just like this slowness, this just methodical, intentional steps for my day. It was just like, oh, I'm going to go bathe in the river, and I'm going to take my time and wash my hair, and I'm going to wash my clothes really good, and just like not rush. There's no rushing. And honestly, now that I'm back and I'm like, as I remember back, as I'm looking at things in hindsight and also living in this moment today, 2 weeks later, there's a lot of things I'm putting together. The puzzle pieces continue to come together that I'm like, oh my goodness. This is a lot. Like, there's so much that I'm continue to learn and continue to alchemize and continue to realize about myself. And so, I had, I was like, let's go back to the part where we were in Samu'uma, where we were near Grandmother Tree, and they were telling us the Yawanawa stories of past, and they had, the elders speak stories about, the Yawanawa tribe and things like the early stories in front of this tree. And this particular time, I had microdosed on Aya. And so the moment I touch this tree, the moment I touch her, she's built with power. You don't even need to take Aya to just feel the energy coming off of this tree. If you're just open, aware to your gifts, everybody can feel the things I'm feeling. I'm not, like I said in the last episode, I'm not special. It's not that I'm some special being that just happened to be born with psychic or intuitive abilities or artistic abilities. Like, that's not what it is. I was born with a desire to know things, and the pathways to know things are through art, yes, are through tattooing, yes, and are through healing, yes. These are my pathways. We all have a burning desire within us that lead us in a direction. And if we continue on that direction with curiosity and openness, we will understand all of the opportunities that appear for us to take them to continue on this path. And it's not just a path of finding your job or finding, what you're really good at and doing it. It's about finding your joy and finding that joy and following the curiosity toward your purpose. And your purpose always is to come back home to yourself, come back home to your highest creative self. And so this me having this energetic experience with a tree is something that everybody can have. I might have a little bit more, it might adapt to me a little bit more because each one of us have different gifts and more potent. They're like more potent in some regard. There are several different clairs out there. It's like clairvoyant, clairsentient, all of these different clairs. I don't know them all by heart, but we have different abilities that allow us to do different things. For me, I've said this before to you guys, my clairs are the inner knowing, visions, and hearing. So claircognizant, clairaudient, I believe it is, and clairsentient, I think it is. But you can look them up. Don't quote me on that. Again, all the clairs are very new to me. I just kind of follow what feels right to me. And if people want to put a label on it, that's cool too. But for me, it's just about the feeling. It's about following the feeling and not disregarding it, not looking at it as it's wrong, discerning it, asking it, is this my ego or is this my higher self? Is this my intuition? I do ask those questions to myself to make sure that it's not that I'm following my ego's perspective, because that's what I have been doing a lot of my life, following my intuition and following my ego in some regards, but thinking that they were both one and the same. And that's not the case. When you become very aware in your healing journey, you start to notice the differences between the voices. And so for me, going back to Samu'uma and feeling this energy of the tree, for me and her, there is this networking sense within the tree that you can just almost see and feel. You can feel the inner workings of the power within, of of the tree. And so when you feel the inner workings of the power within, you almost feel it into the ground underneath your feet. It almost feels like there's like this little tiny vibration underneath you. And for me, whenever I feel this type of way, it grounds me. It makes me feel very held and safe in this place. And so it almost just doubled down my inner knowing that I am definitely a plant woman. I'm definitely a nature woman. I care a lot about the earth. I've always cared a lot about the earth. I never understood why that direction just, I was always just brought to that direction. You know, I was plant-based for a really, really long time. I don't have much plastic in my house. I was really, I cared a lot about the fact that I wanted my tattoo shop to be neutral waste, you know, where we utilize as much as possible biodegradable, you know, non-plastic items within the shop as much as possible. You know, it's not, we can't fully integrate it and totally in that realm where we can avoid plastics always, but that's why it's called neutral waste. I would love for a day that it becomes no waste, you know, and so everything is just biodegradable, happy for the planet, happy, you know, and just we're thinking and co-creating with the earth. And so I've always felt this way, but never understood it. I was just like, okay, why do I feel this way and nobody else does? Like, it drove me crazy that my neighbors were throwing big old plastic trash bags into the trash can. Like, it would drive me crazy. And so I'm just like, I don't understand. Is this just ignorance? Like, they don't know? Should I have a conversation and just be like, hey, you know, you don't have to wrap your recyclables in plastic. Like, you just stick it in there and just make sure you wash them out, because it makes the recycling plants much easier to do things. So it's like, I've always had this feeling that that I cared. And so that's why I always follow the feeling. You can label it all you want, so we can kind of like dial it down with the clairs, but at the end of the day, you follow the feeling. If you feel intuitively within you that there is something in you that calls you in a certain direction, follow the feeling. And so me just understanding that I talk to trees, I talk to the plants, I talk to the planet speaks through me, I speak through the planet. There's certain things, there's certain directions I won't go because I'm like, oh, I'm being called over here. And then there's just certain trees that might not want to talk to me, but others are just like, hey, just wanted to say what's up. You know, it's like, this is what's happening for me. And so Sam, having Aya has just really opened me up. It's like, it has opened me up not only my channels, but also my no fucks given on me having this conversation with you guys right now. Like, you could not have told me that I would be telling you guys this a year ago. I would have been like, nope, I'm gonna keep that to myself. Like, everybody's gonna think I'm a fucking crazy lady. And so, yeah, no, don't care if you think I'm a crazy lady. In some parts of me, I still feel a little crazy even thinking about it, but I'm going to fully own all parts of me because it's me, and I'm not going to make any of me right or wrong. And that's the point, you guys. Like, this is what Aya has done for me. This is what the Amazon has done for me. It's not just Aya. Aya just heightened the experience, but the Amazon just being there, the energy of oneness and abundance and connection and community in this indigenous tribe. This is what it's teaching me. It's like, there is no time to waste on imposter syndrome, on caring what others think, on judging myself, on all of these things. And when it does come up for me, just to know that it is an opportunity for me to dive a little deeper into myself, into my shadow, and to bring it to the surface, bring light to the shadow so that I can alchemize it, so I can turn that shame, turn that unworthiness, turn whatever it is into power, so that I can up level and continue to do what I'm meant to do on this planet. Which, for me, my main purpose at the end of the day is so beyond me. The more that I heal me, the more that I focus on me, is really a focus on anybody else that is willing to listen and heal themselves. Because at the end of the day, my mission in this industry, the way that I'm gonna go through this is through my joy, which is tattooing, the tattoo industry. But the more that I can help people, And so the more that I can step into my highest creative self, the more that I could just own who the fuck I am, and with the crazy, with the judgments, with the feelings of unworthiness. I hold the duality. I hold the polarity of the good and the evil, the right and the wrong, the bad and the good. It's just like all of this stuff that there is polarity in life. And so it's like, I'm not going to make wrong all the things that maybe society might deem not good. Like my unworthiness, my shadows, my shame, my judgments against myself, my judgments, my fear of judgment from others, not owning fully who I am, not owning my past, not owning, the things that I'm not very proud of. Like I'm going to own all of it, and I am going to alchemize it and utilize it as power. And so when I feel this energy of this tree, and full circle, I'm coming back, I feel the energy of this tree. This is what I'm learning. I am learning, holy shit, Reese, fuck it. Let's go. Stop the caring. What's happening when you are stuck in the story, the narratives of the caring and the judgment and the comparing and all of this stuff? And being in a place where I'm at now, where I am well into my healing journey, where I am very well aware of who the fuck I am. It's all those narratives are doing. It's an escape. And I tell this to myself with loving compassion and care that, Reese, you are just trying to escape what it is you don't want to feel. Anytime I create a story around something, anytime I decide that I'm trying to escape in some capacity, these stories are just another escape, just like drugs or substance was for me back in the day. Like years ago, it used to be an escape for me. And sometimes even now, sometimes even today, like these days, sometimes I'm like, man, I really want to drink. And then I have to ask myself, I'm like, do I want to drink because I just, I'm feeling good, and let's fucking own that. And I will totally get a drink for that. Or do I want to drink? Am I escaping from something? I always ask myself the question now, because at the end of the day, it always ends up being a little bit of an escape. And I'm going to own that too. And if I decide I'm going to drink, I'm going to fucking own that shit. So there's no right or wrong. This is not where I'm making myself wrong. This is not the point. The point was just to own who the fuck I am in any capacity that I am in this moment. That was the point. That is the point. That was the lesson that I continue to learn, integrating back into regular society, being back home, touching this tree, kind of just literally, it felt like I had a moment like Jean Grey, like an X-Men. And she just like, and she's not really understanding like who she is. She's going from Jean Grey to Phoenix, and like it's like untapped power, and she's just having shame around the fact that she has negative thoughts, and she's really just trying to come back to herself and all this stuff. And so it's like, this is exactly what's happening to all of us. And so instead, it's like if she would just own the fact that she's fucking Phoenix and she's the all powerful, then she can actually control it better. And it's not about like, the more you try to control it and make things wrong or right within yourself, the harder it is to actually control it. And when you just accept all parts of yourself, the easier it actually gets to utilize all parts of yourself as a way to up level, to upgrade, to empower yourself, and then thus empowering others. And so this was the point, you guys. Like Sama-Uma, the Aya, the ceremonies, the Amazon, it's all about, at the end of the day, what I learned, it was all about owning who the fuck I am. Owning all parts of me. Because as I came home, it was like 2.5 days of coming home. It was a lot of travel to come home. I did feel really bogged down. Aya as a medicine, it still bogs down your system, especially if you're not used to it. Of course, I was feeling a little under the weather. And I had like a 9-hour layover in Sao Paulo, which I just ended up, going to a lounge and just doing that kind of thing. And really just settling with myself, being alone for a moment, because you're always with people out there in the Amazon, and I felt like I was always with someone, and it felt kind of nice to just be by myself, to reintegrate and just get back into it. And then all of a sudden, like, honestly, the floodgates opened. It was my creative floodgates just opened, and I was drawing and drawing and drawing and drawing and creating all of these things, and I was just like, holy shit. I was writing, and I just had to get all of this creativity out of me, and I felt so creative. I felt so good. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. This is amazing. Got it all out of me, got it all written down, got it all created the content, created the copy, created the artwork, created the designs. It was just like all of the stuff coming out of me, and I was like, wow, I really love this. Like, who doesn't love feeling like they're super fucking productive? You know, you're talking to the productive queen here. Like, I just want to be productive all day long. And then I literally get home and I just start to feel really down. And I was like, what is happening? You know, and it's like, it was this part of me. I started, and what happens with Aya is that, like, a lot of times you start to feel a little like a dip, almost like all the subconscious stuff is all coming up, and it's all coming up to the surface, and it's still coming up even after you're no longer drinking Aya, even after you're no longer in the Amazon. So it's all of this stuff is still coming up, and I truly believe that it'll continue to come up. I believe that Aya is now forever inside me, and I can't ever go back to unseeing the things I saw. And so that's just the gift I was given. Also, if you want to look at it, a little bit of a curse, because it made me feel really crazy. I got home, I felt really almost depressed. I was like, okay, this must be withdrawals. I must be having withdrawals, you know what I mean? Like, I just did plant medicine, which is like gnarly. It's like, it feels like psychedelics, DMT, and all intents purposes, I think. And so I'm like, okay, I'm coming off. I'm like, I just need to understand that, and I'm creating this story around it. And then all this shame starts to come up, and all this worry, and all this judgment, and all these things about me. And I'm just like, no. Like, no. It's just me being depressed. Like, no. And I don't even realize that I'm actually shoving it down and pushing it away. And I'm acting like it's not a part of me, and I'm not listening to what's coming up for me. And what you end up doing when you end up not listening to the voices within you that are creating some of these emotions within you, you end up making it seem like it's wrong. It's like, no, these emotions are wrong. I can't have these because I was just productive for so long. And so it was almost like it all got erased, what happened in the Amazon. And I came home and I was like, no, I'm not a depressed person. No. So I'm going to create all these stories around why it's happening. I'm just going to shove it down. It's not real, because it's not real. And then, so this is what I realized what I was doing. And it was almost like I started laughing, because I started to notice what I was doing. I was watching myself tell myself that my emotions were not real, they're not meant to be there, and that they were essentially wrong. And I was like, whoa, being the observer of my own thoughts, being the person, and if you're watching me do the hand motions, it's like almost what I like to think of it is like I am the person that is third party perspective in the side of like the top back corner of my brain, watching all of my psyches do all the things that are happening within me. And so I'm just like, whoa, I'm watching myself tell myself I'm wrong and not allowed to have these emotions. And it's quite a whisper like that, because she's just like, like, guys, like, haven't we learned already? You know what I mean? Like, so this is where I start to crack up, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm going crazy. I'm crying, depressed. I have no capacity to want to do anything. I was so creative. What happened to all the creativity? And I'm talking to my partner, and I'm telling him, and I'm like, I just feel like you're not going to love me because I'm all over the place. And I am judging myself. I'm judging everything I'm doing. I'm judging it all. And then I'm laughing at it all because I'm watching myself judge it all, and I'm watching myself make it wrong when there's no such thing as wrong or right in this world. And then all of a sudden I come back to myself. I almost right back into myself, right back into my highest self. It was my spirit guides. It was Aya. It was nature calling to me, talking to me. I was literally stuck my face in my plants, sat next to my plants, and was just kind of cuddled with them on the balcony in the sun. I was watering them, so they're out on the balcony and everything. And literally the messages that I received once I got quiet and allowed myself to feel all of the things where I allowed myself to feel all of the things. I got really quiet. I stopped creating the story around all of the things that was going on within me. I just got quiet and I was like, let me just stay incredibly present in this moment and allow my guides to tell me what is up. How do I move through this? And through the plants, because I truly believe my plants are my spirit guides, my dog is my spirit guide. I have other guides out there that I can't quite understand, but they sometimes take forms of people, but they don't, and it's like weird. But I feel them, and I feel warm, and I feel good. And I feel that feeling around me. I feel that almost like warm embrace around me, just letting me know that it's like, Reese, just let go and feel all of the things. And I'm getting like full body chills just thinking about it, because that's the wisdom in it. It's letting go and being okay with everything that's going on within you and owning it and not making it wrong. And even when you revert back to old patterns, just realizing that's kind of your kink. It's like, oh my God, I actually like being a little in my drama. Like, why I'm creating all this drama in my life. Like, I'm literally creating stress in my life that's so unnecessary, because I'm like, I kind of don't know how not to live a life without it. I don't know how to live a life without stress, because I've been stressed underlying, at least, even if it's just humming down way low at the bottom, my whole life. I have been anxious underlying at the bottom of me my whole life. It's vibrational, tiny, but it's there. And I'm like, whoa, let me just own it. Okay, yeah. I don't feel stressed right now, but there's this underlying stress within me that I'm perpetuating in myself, because I don't know how not to live a life of ease and balance without it. So how about I just own the fact that that kind of is my kink, and let's move on. Let's let it go. And let me just shine a little light of awareness on this. And although I might not be able to alchemize it right away, at least I know it's there, and at least I can give myself a lot of compassion and grace as I move through it. And the moment I offered myself that space to feel all the things, to realize I kind of kinky and I kind of like it. I like making my own drama within my own life, even though there's nothing to be stressed about. Like, I can create all the stresses in my mind, but if I were to truly be the woman that is holding the polarity of the thing that's inside me, there is a huge, I would say 75% of me, there's a huge, and which is so great because it's so much more than it used to be, especially after this trip. Like, 75% of me believes in the fucking magic and believes that I've got me and believes that I am going to hit all of the goals I have ever wanted to hit and that I'm going to be great and fine. And it's just that there, and then there's this 25% of me, my ego, my discernment is like, nah, we're going to create some drama because we don't trust the unknown. We like facts. We like logic. And so it creates all of this other stuff around, and then so this is like our journeys. What's so funny is it's like, as I'm integrating back and I'm telling you these things, our journeys is meant to have ebb and flow. We are meant to kind of forget and then come back to ourselves. And then what's funny about the forgetting, it's like almost once we forget and we come back better than ever. We come back more grateful than ever. And we come back more like, holy fuck, this world is abundant. And holy fuck, I'm growing super fast, because the fact that coming back to myself comes faster and faster and faster. It's not that I'm like, oh, once I've grown, I never remember or do the past patterns that I've ever done. Hell no, that is not the case at all. It's just, now that you've opened yourself to a level of awareness, your awareness is going to catch things much faster. But sometimes we forget. We get caught up in our old patterns. We get caught up in our old narratives and our old stories. And so in this moment, as I'm back from Aya and the Amazon, and I'm like, please, I don't want to forget about it. I don't want to forget, but I will never forget, first off. It's just, that is the point of our journeys, is that we are always going to forget and remember again. And it's never really forgetting. It's more just like we don't get present in the moment. And that's the whole point of that entire Amazon journey, was to be present. Because when you are present, you can feel the energy and the vibration within this planet, within yourself. And when you can get present and feel those things, you allow intuition to guide you where it is, what steps you need to take. So when you're given two opportunities, you're like, I got this and I got this. Which do I do? What do I do? Which step do I take? If I get really present in the moment and I cultivate that relationship with presence, I cultivate that relationship with nature, which is pure presence. Nature is pure presence. Have you ever gone to a tree and them getting upset because it lost a leaf because it's fall? No. Nature is pure presence. That is the point. So when you come back to pure presence, you can actually hear the inner voice within you that wants to talk to you and tell you which way to go, because the universe wants to see you fucking succeed. But that is the thing, is that sometimes when we get really present, we start to get to know ourselves. And sometimes we don't want to get to know ourselves. So what do? We go and escape it. We stay stuck in the past. We stay stuck in the future. We stay stuck in the stress, the overwhelm, the overwork, all of those things, to hide and mask from the feelings we don't want to feel, because that is uncomfortable. But that is the point of the journey. And so, my friends, to end this lovely podcast, I hope that I inspire you just to get fucking present, because when you do, that will be the first step of your journey, and it will continue to be the first step to come back to your journey, because every time you get caught up, you can always come back to presence, and pure presence is in nature. So go lean on a tree, close your eyes, and take a deep breath in and blow it out of your mouth, and do that several times until you can really just hear what pure presence has to teach you, because that is how you quantum leap in your business. If I am going to continue to not listen and do the old patterns and stay in the stress and the overwork and the overwhelm, although it makes me feel like I'm doing a lot, all the productivity, all the overwork, oh yeah, I'm doing a lot, look at me. Revel in what I do all day long. I'm such a hard worker. Give me an award. Because people don't want to give an award to someone that looks like they're doing things easily, because we're like, that's not possible, because we don't actually believe it's possible for us. And that, my friends, is what's going to perpetuate a life that doesn't have ease and balance in it, because you actually believe that, because your subconscious believes that. You might not think that. You might be like, no, I want balance. I want this. I want that. I want this life. But do you actually believe you can have it? Is it something you actually believe in? If it isn't, this is where presence comes in. You get present, because once you get to know who you are, then you really start to realize what it is you believe. You could not have told me that I still had a lot of shame and a lot of doubt about my past, and a lot of doubt about my future, a lot of doubt about the decisions I've just recently made. I was so I knew I was following intuition, but I didn't realize that there was still this underlying doubt within that until I got present. And it was like, oh my God, here it is. Holy shit, I didn't realize that I still have these feelings that come up within me. And hey, you know what? That's okay. I'm fucking cool with it. That's a part of me. I'm not going to tell myself that that's not me anymore, or that's not it. I'm going to say, nope, that's it. That's me. And you take radical responsibility for who you are, and learn to hold the space for yourself. Because when you learn to hold space for yourself, you learn to hold space for more of everything, external and internal, more clients, more money, more this, more that. And all of that doesn't even fucking matter, really. All the externals don't fucking matter, because what's in here is the peace within me, the ease, the peace is what matters. And the fact that I've created a life through that ease and peace, that's the real success to me. I don't give a shit how much money I make. I know the money's coming. That's a whole other bag. That's a mindset. Money is energy. Money is easy. If money is hard, that's a mindset for you. And that's okay. A lot of people will listen to me and be like, yeah, fuck you, Reese. Money's not easy. No, it's not easy for you. Money's easy for me. And I even get a little feeling inside my tummy where it's like, oh, is that a lie? Is that real? No, money's easy. We make it not easy. We like it not to be easy. That's the point. So coming back to your presence will lead you to what is it you actually believe, so that you can look at those beliefs and own them, be okay with them, and know that they are allowed to be there. Because if you try to shove them away, it's like telling a child what they're wrong. It's like you're crying over nothing, you're wrong. That's what you're doing. You're telling your psyches within you, which is like your inner child, your inner teenager, all these things. You're just telling them that they're wrong. You're like, oh, no. You're sad, you're wrong. You're depressed, that's wrong, you're wrong. You never tell that to a kid, right? Like, that's fucked up. So why do you tell that to yourself? And then why do you also tell yourself that you're like, no, I don't want stress. I don't want all this stuff, but you feel stress, and it's like you're trying to fight the thing that's within you and you're trying to disown it. It's like, why? Own all parts of you. That's what this journey has just really like helped me really recommit to myself, come back to myself, and like really start to alchemize it. Like, I'm still moving through it a lot, you guys. Like, I'm still feeling the feels. But the reason, like, and sometimes it makes me feel like, oh, maybe I should just go through all this stuff before I come on here and tell my truth and all these things. But there is a huge part of me that this is so beyond me. This is so beyond me. Everything that I'm doing is so beyond me. It's not about me anymore. It's about everybody else out there. It's about this message of new earth, this new paradigm, this shift. If I can own it while in the thick of it, while still feeling like, fuck, I'm still an imposter, then maybe someone else out there can do the same. And that's where I'm at. So I am going to continue to show up exactly as I am, who I am in this moment, grow with it, grow with you guys, and know that what I'm doing is for me, but also so much fucking bigger than me. So with that being said, I love you guys so fucking much. I hope that this podcast episode made sense. I swear to God, sometimes when I'm channeling and I'm just moving through whatever's organically coming out of my mouth, I feel like I'm a scatterbrained lady. But I think the reason why that happens is because when we have a lot of information within us that we really want to express out of us, it sometimes comes out in jumbles. But the people that it's meant for, it will be for, and you will understand it. And the people that it's not meant for, hey, that's okay too. And maybe you won't understand it now, but maybe there will be one little sentence within this entire podcast that will stick to you, and then one day it will make sense and you'll be like, holy shit, and then maybe you'll want to re-listen, and then you'll get it. So this is the whole point, you guys. Be open, be present, be forever a student, and know that what you are doing on your healing journey is helping you, is moving the needle within your business, is moving the needle within your innovation, within your creativity. It is opening up your channels to more creativity within you so that you can up level and upgrade in fucking lightning speed time. Because I'm telling you, you guys, I am in the thick of it, and I can already feel that something big's gonna happen, and I have no fucking clue what it is. But I'm excited, and I'm willing to continue to be curious and walk down the path of resistance because it's uncomfy, but I know on the other side is going to be something fucking awesome. So I love you guys so much. Let me know that you love this podcast episode. Let me know in the stories. Let me know how it made you feel. Did you get anything out of it? Give me your greatest win. I would love to know your greatest win out of it. I love you so, so much, and I'll see you in the next episode.